Hello Marvel Heroes fans! I've been wanting to make a video on Rogue because she's one of my favorite heroes, and now that we are at the age of the ranged heroes because of all these like cosmic petrol and so on, making ranged hero really fun to play. It's a lot harder if you play melee on those contents, so I'm happy to take what I have. And so why not I try to do something for Rogue, because since the last time I played Rogue, a lot has changed. New powers are available for steal or borrow. So I spent 1 week playing Rogue, and I actually redo quite a lot of her gears. I redo the entire build just to find a build that I enjoy. Now, what are my criteria when it comes to Rogue power? So survivability is important because now the contents appears to getting harder, and I want her DPS to be good as well, which very fortunately I got her to at least if not better than my tier 1 hero. So I'm really excited and happy to share this, because previously she hasn't been doing great, but she improved a great deal once I put some effort into churning the number and so on, right? I can only handle one single toolbar or hotbar, and I almost got it, just like the Doctor Strange video. I almost got it. I still need to extend for one more, like a function keys for one of her 1 minute cooldown powers. But by and large, I can do pretty good on one single hotbar. And I mean, those are my criteria when it comes to getting her build. And the very reason why I would like to do this video is that I would like to share with you my journey when it comes to building Rogue, so that you can either take what I have, adopt it in a way that makes sense to you, or take my approach and find a build that suits you as well, make it your own. So I'm a strong believer in sharing experience and so on, so you can do better, and maybe I can take a look at what you've done and I can do better as well. So that is the whole reason why I'm doing all these videos. All right. As always, my video is going to be divided in a few parts to it. So part 1 is what you see here, introduction, and then after that I'll go into the cosmic terminals or cosmic patrols to just show you a little bit of how she plays like. And then after that I'll come back and talk about the Omega system, talk about her power and so on. All right. For those who are new to Rogue, haven't unlocked her yet, I mean, she is one of the heroes that I think you should consider unlocking, although she's pretty expensive, cost 600 eternal splinters, or I don't know how much in real money that translate to. The fun thing about Rogue is that she has 3 power trees. So you can take the first power tree is all her power, melee power, but the other 2 is blank slate. You can borrow power from your hero, from other heroes, or you can steal powers from villains as well. So you get to build what you like for Rogue. Now there's some certain restriction to it, but beyond which is a lot of freedom when it comes to Rogue. And when new team up, new heroes, new villains are being introduced to this game, Rogue will get the power extension as well, because there are more powers to be available for Rogue. Those are good news. The bad news is that if you just pick what you think you enjoy very likely if you don't go through the numbers or so on, very likely you end up with a build that is not competitive. And that's what happened to me when my Rogue was having a time to kill very long on this raid dummy here, and was really disappointed, disheartened as well, because I put in a lot of gears for her. But at the end of the day, it is not really her gear, it's really about how I build her. So it's all my fault when she sucks. So this is me, within our player space, we have to find a build that's suitable for her. And in a way, I do appreciate Gazillion when they design a hero. There must be a lot of things that go into their mind, like what kind of power should be available, how the powers will be connected, and going through the journey of Rogue, I have much deeper appreciation to Gazillion when they come to designing heroes. So before I go on to the terminal and so on, one thing that I would like to share with you, very important, is that when it comes to Rogue, once you get a build that you think you like, you enjoy, always come to this terminal here. I mean this area here. Unload whatever you have on this raid dummy. Now, don't worry about the spirit, because you may run out of spirit after 30 seconds of attacking the dummy, and you still cannot kill the dummy. I think most of us can't. And if you are unable to sustain the spirit because there's no damage to you, cannot use a med core to recover spirit, just pause the timer, go out, and then once you get a full spirit, come back in again and continue. At the end of the day, it is you beating yourself. There's no point in trying to beat like what forum people has been saying, or 35 seconds time to kill. You know, most of us, I don't know about you, but I can't get there. So, but at the end of the day, it is about, you know, improving yourself. It is about beating yourself. So, you know, when you get a build, you think that you like, come to this dummy here, you know, do the timing, use a timer, a time stopper to sort of like, you know, get the timing, you know, how long it takes. When you run out of spirit, never mind. You know, get out of this area, just pause the timer, wait until it recovers, come back in again, all right? So the most important thing is that you would like to see improvement in whatever you do, in the gear, in the whatever. Now, ultimately, if you are able to, like myself right now, find a build that you don't have spirit problem, or you can sustain the spirit, that is all the better, meaning that you can just like, you know, kill off this dummy without having to run into a spirit issue. That is the ultimate goal, all right? So now, before I go into the next bit of it, just to share some common stats with you. The stat that I'm going to share with you is the highest of the type, because Rogue can deal 3 types of damage depending on what power she borrow from or steal from. So I'm not going to give you too many numbers. So just to share with you that for my ranged build, my flat damage is 367% above the normal. So it is altogether 467, which is very strong, because I think most of my top tier heroes are about 400% ish. So she's able to hit 467%. All right. Now in terms of crit, her crit is 50%, all right. But once she get into this like you know, raging, man, I don't know how to pronounce this one, Cahoon maybe. Once you get to there, you know, she can deal some really high crit, like 57%. But you know, all in all, without that buff, it is 50%, and her brutal, wait for it, is 66.5%, which I think is pretty decent, right? About 67% for brutal. How about crit damage rating and brutal damage rating? I use Power Cosmic. I don't use Gunir for Rook, so her crit damage rating is just about 308%. Nothing to shout about, but I managed to get her above 300%, so I'm happy. Her brutal, however, is 680%. 680% on brutal. I think it's pretty good. So, this is my basic stat when I go into the terminal and all, and just bear in mind when you see what I've done. All right. Without further ado, next bit of the video. Okay, here is Rogue versus Cosmic. Modok. I choose Modok because I do enjoy this terminal. It does have some pretty high damage if you're not careful, and you have a couple of bosses to show you how she plays like so. So that is it, and I'm hoping that within this video I can spend some time talking about the I've got a whole chat list here, right? Spend some time talking about, let me put it here. Talking about the how you could build Rook. Okay, so the first question you ask yourself is like, when it comes to Rook, do you want her to be a hybrid? It's not an easy question in some sense, because although she can be a hybrid, but it doesn't mean that you have to get her to hybrid. And you know, each of whether it's hybrid or not, you do have some kind of like advantage, because in general it's a little bit easier to gear if it's for pure damage. So you know, so the first question you ask yourself is that, well, you know, do you want a hybrid Rook or do you not want a hybrid Rook? So that is the first question you have. I have chosen a hybrid Rook because I kind of like enjoy the kind of like different gameplay that you have here. Okay, now I just need to get a bit of like attention here, because I'm getting hit left, right, center, and okay, he's gone. That's it. Okay, so that's the first question you have to ask yourself. The second question is like, what kind of hero you like to be, in terms of whether it's like going to be like melee or range, because or even a mix of melee and range, because there are gear to support melee and range, like Spider-Man Team Insignia or Spider-Man Medallion. Good luck to farm that. But I mean, having said that, I mean, there are options out there, and again, it is about your personal choice. These days, the cosmic patrol is getting hard, so I feel that range is the way to go. In fact, this entire build I have is on range, so yep. So that is a question you should ask yourself. So now, provided that you have done that kind of soul searching question and arrive at somewhere like me that you like to have make a pure range. The next question is that what kind of damage type would you like to do, even if we do hybrid? Because if you look at the gearing or Omega system, it is very hard to get all three damage type to be. It's very hard to excel in all three of them because just because it's just hard because you can have plus energy, but what about plus strength? You know, and it's not really that great to speed your Omega point just because you want to complete the kind of like complete the kind of like damage type, right? So if you have watched some of my other video, I always feel that from an Omega system perspective, it's a lot easier to have plus energy. All right, and also mental as well. All right, sorry, I get a little bit distracted here. The reason why is that in order to get plus energy, you have two options. All right, so one option is a Phoenix Forge, which is very much like you can open up all the preceding nodes to Phoenix Force for the plus 10 energy. Those are great. But then if you look at the nodes, a lot of emphasis are being put on the mental damage. If you have noticed, like mental base and so on. So you know that I think is a little bit biased to the mental. So or you can take the other one, which is the give you some projectile defense and so on, but I want DPS when it comes to Omega system. I don't want to have defense. So the first question is I probably answer it myself, is that I would like to have the plus energy. It is a bit harder to get plus plus strength, because you know that the plus 5 is easy, but when it comes to the other 5, you have to pay quite a fair bit for things that you may not need. So I would prefer something like plus energy for sure. So now the next question that I have answered myself is that, okay, fine, I would like to have the plus energy, and I'm looking for a build. When I borrow power and so on, I'm looking for a build that is mainly for mental and energy. All right, so whatever power I borrow, I would like to borrow for these two. Mental energy. Those are my main DPS. So that is the question that you should answer yourself. All right. And then how about the duration? Because you know, one thing great about Rogue is that you can have a lot of like a nice gear to increase the duration, because a lot of buff that you have, like the Raging Cahoon or other things that you have, these are very strong in terms of the very biased towards the power duration. So you know, the higher power duration you have, the better you know is actually to be. So that decision is important because it affects your gearing, it affects the way that which power you pick and so on. All right, so that you should pay attention as well. All right, so that's the duration part of it, and I would actually gear for duration as well. All right, and the hang on. Yeah, I'm getting constantly distracted here. Okay, so what's the next one that I need to talk about? Okay, now the next bit is interesting because her signature, a lot of people claim that her signature is a DPS loss. Because during her signature, you can't really do anything at all. There's nothing much you can do. In a certain way, I would agree, but I also have done my own study as well. I realized that if you actually do your rotation right, meaning that before you do before you start the signature, you have laid all the damage over time. You have done all the cooldown and so on as much as possible. The one that you're missing out is only only one or two cooldowns or at least one cooldown that you missed out if you do it right. So your signature actually lay on top of the your signature actually lay on top of the current cooldown duration as well as the damage over time. So I've actually got two builds that I have, and I do respect one without signature or one with signature, the fact that the one without signature is very similar when it comes to the the DPS. And I've got the bounty already, so there's no point really going about. But never mind, just for show. So it's just that without signature, I found that it costs more spirit when it comes to sustaining the DPS. Now I managed to have a build that I can live with either build, so I'm fine either build. And so it is really your choice whether you want to take signature or not. I do not believe that signature DPS loss unless your DPS is really sky high. That maybe if that's the case, but I don't believe it's a spirit. It is a DPS loss, at least for normal people like I am. All right. So and okay. So what else do we have here? Hang on a sec. Let me just focus and moving into the area. So when it comes to rogue, right, you actually have an option to have the when it comes to borrow power and the and steal power, there's some certain restriction to it. So the first restriction you have is that there's only 6 power you can borrow from heroes and 6 power you can borrow from villains. So so sometimes when you design your build, you can't have too many on the hero side because you can only up to 6. And then within these 12 powers that you can choose from, you can have any number of core powers. So what is a core? For instance, this single spender, Fans of the Ferala, is a range common core. So core is something that like there's no cooldown by and large, although some do have cooldown, but by and large it's just something that you keep spamming on that. All right, so that's core. You can have any number of core you have, but you can only have 2 attritions. Attrition is like a damage over time. So you can pick 2 attrition spell power from either hero and or villains, 2 of them. All right, and you can have 2 impact. 2 impacts power. Impacts are like having a cooldown, big damage. So 1 big damage, and then after that, you have to wait for it. Do bear in mind that attrition is normally more spirit efficient than the impact, because impact actually costs a lot more spirit to sustain the power, but they can be pretty powerful as well. So that is something to bear in mind. And then you can have up to 3 passive. All right, so you can't have too many passive, right? Otherwise, it's kind of strange. So you can have like up to 3 passive plus the 1 that you already have. So that means that you have 4 passive for rogue. And also you can have 2 support. Now what is a support? Things like a Raging Cahoon is a support. Support is like is something that like you can have a temporary buff for a certain number, certain duration with a very long cooldown. Usually those are support. So just to recap, you can have like any number of cores. You can only have 2 attrition, 2 impact, and then after that 3 passive and 2 support. All right. So however you design the build, it must be that way. Now let me just focus and get this modok done first. All right. So I'm going in and wish me luck to let's get to modok. Okay. So okay, let's go. So that is on modok. And he's not dead yet, but he will soon. Alright. Okay. So now I can continue to. Oh, I got the Madog Medallion, which is kind of crap. I've got this guy also kind of crap. I've got the Odin. Okay, that's not bad. Let me just clear this area, open my boxes, and I can continue talking about it. Now, so the first question you have is what kind of attrition would you like? Because attrition is important. Attrition is like damage over time. So you would like to have 2 attrition, 2 good ones. All right. As for the impact, the problem with impact is that it's a high spirit cost. So would you like to have or 2 impact or 1 impact? Is really up to you. I pick only 1 impact because first of all I can't manage that many things on the toolbar. But if you can, then depends on the build that you get, right? Because but I don't think that you really require to have 2 impacts because but it depends on how you build it. All right. So that is the that is the thing that you should think about between the attrition and impact. And I'm going to go into the cosmic petrol to continue this video. All right. Hi guys, so this part of the video is showcasing to you how Rogue plays light on a cosmic patrol, and together with me, my wife sync up as well. Now is the taskmaster, so I'm going to head over there really fast. Okay, let me just get my bearing first. Okay, so this part of the video is talking about the what kind of option you have when it comes to playing Rogue, what kind of power you can choose as well. So I thought it's useful to share with you how I pick some of the power for Rogue as well. All right. So when it comes to Rogue, I talk about the attrition, impact, support, passive as well. For the attrition, which is damage over time, you have a few options. The best one, by my calculation, the best one is from Cleo, which is very much a Doctor Strange power, but it's from Cleo. It's called It's called the Flame of the Fatine. Is in fact one of the highest DPS, and another thing I like it a lot is because its cooldown is actually shorter than the duration of the power itself, so that when the boss move around, you do not need to. I mean, you can actually reapply the damage over time in another spot without losing too much on the DPS itself. So this is something I really like because I can reapply as the boss move around. I can reapply on that. All right. So okay, let me just focus here and. So that is the number one that I have. The only thing about the Flames of the Fatine is that it has quite a small area, unlike other options you may have now. So the boss has moved away. I can reapply the Flame of the Fatine as well. So that is the reason why I really like this one. But the only thing is that it has a smaller area. So when it comes to raid, when the boss doesn't move a lot, it's not really a big concern. And another thing good about it is that it actually create a vortex to suck the mobs into it. So that is one of the reasons why I really want to stick on this one, although it has a smaller area. All right. So that's the number one. And besides Mantle as well, if you look at later part of my video about the Omega system, you understand why I prefer Mantle. All right. So that's one, and you can have pick up to. Okay, so this is a really hard boss to play. I probably don't want to. I got stuck here, which is no good news. I need to get out from here. It has this one shot kind of thing about this boss. I really don't like. I can't really tell when that happened. That is one thing I really. But I think we have enough player there to kind of take the damage. So another one. Another attrition, if you're just purely going by the damage output, another one that you could focus on is either the Storm's Crushing Hail, which has a very nice, very efficient as well, very spirit efficient, because as you rank up, the duration actually increase, and it has a snowy. Oh, Loki Rune, lovely! I can't believe it. Great. So it has a very nice. Okay, so what is it? The civilian, is it? Okay, so it has a very nice damage over time area to it. So let me just focus on saving some of these guys. So I saved one. At least I saved one. All right. So now I can continue talking about the the power that I chose and so on. So the one option is the Storms one, the Crushing Hail, but I'm constrained by the fact that I have run out of slots on the hero, so I can't really do Storm. So that is, whoa, I need to get out. Sometimes it's so hard on the terminal here, I mean on the staircase here. Let me just use enough power to get my teleport out. So teleport is useful in situation like that. Alright. Okay, so another option is by the Electro. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's called Electric Field or something like that. It's from the boss Electro. It has also a very high DPS, not as high as the Flame of the Fatine from Cleo, the team up, but it's good enough. So that is one option I could have. Now I didn't pick that. I have a reason why I didn't pick that. It's because I really like the Lavalanche from Slug, which is from the boss in the raid. I'm trying to get Okay, maybe let me just try to get the location whereby I can find the symbiotic here. Whoa, there's so many crap going on, right? Okay, okay, where am I? Oh yeah, eventually I picked the Lavalanche. Lavalanche itself is not really that, it doesn't really have a high DPS. However, so Lavalanche has two components to it. What I like about it, it has a direct component, impact component to it, as well as a damage over time component. So, you know, like this one here, when you hit with the Lavalanche, it does the, oh wow, the Venom just spawned right next to me while I'm talking about in the video, huh? It happens like second times already. So the Lavalanche has a direct damage component. The thing about attrition power is that, you know, as the boss moves out from the dead zone, you actually lose DPS. Lavalanche has the impact, first impact to it, so that for sure I know that I'm dealing some direct damage. It's great. Another good thing about Lavalanche is that its cooldown is actually longer than the duration itself, even if you have power duration attribute. Why do I say it's great? Because, you know, sometimes as the power duration increases, it's very hard to gauge when you should reapply the power. Like, you know, when because all these like 6.2 second, you know, 11.3 second. I mean, how are you going to count all those things to benefit from it? You know, in a way that makes sense, right? But for Lavalanche, you don't need to worry about it, because even as your power duration increases, you probably still within the cooldown period we are talking about here. So that's one reason why I picked Lavalanche. It seems like I'm selling it for a long time, but yeah, I mean, although its damage over time is not really that great. But having said that, by my calculation, if I manage to get about 30% power duration, it is very close to either the Storm's or Electro's stolen power, because that is about 97% up to 97% of it. Isn't, I mean, you know, I think it's good enough. So now, okay, where's my wife? And just teleport to her and see what she's doing. She's still looting, I think. Okay, so that is the two attrition I talked about. The impact, I've mentioned about the impact that I can only handle one or one impact power. So the best one, of course, is tongue lash spite toe. By far, is the best one. Even if you don't really have a lot of like physical power buff kind of like attribute to it, it's very efficient in terms of the power. Okay, so that's. Okay, so animals, hang on, let me just do some animal here. So in terms of the power, okay, wait, hang on. What on earth is this? Okay, so in terms of impact, the best one you have is tongue lash by top, but then because it's a melee, also there's a cone to it, so I have to get quite close to the boss in order to use that to put it off. So I thought about it, and I think maybe I'm more inclined to be the second best, which is the okay, it's completed. So the second best is in fact the minus Titans one. Minus Titans one is very nice. It has direct damage as well as explosion as well. Okay, Sinister 6. So where's everybody's going? Let me see. Maybe I just teleport to my wife. But I think everybody's going up north. So. Okay. Let's just hit the one up north first. Okay, so what do we have here? Yeah, this Electro, still his power is nice. The static field is nice. Alright, so in terms of yeah, I prefer the second best, which is the minus Titan, right? Has very nice direct damage to it, so as well as the explosion. So that's why I picked is second best, and that's fine. I can deal with second best. Okay, so that I have covered the attrition as well as the. Okay, I'm trying to see where everybody's doing, because you know, by right I should just like follow the crowd. That's the best thing. So rather than just myself trying to be a hero here. Okay, let me just focus here, get the thing in, gloss off, and go in with my thing. Okay, from a support perspective, there's actually quite a lot of like, okay, my wife is hitting Raven, but that's okay. Sorry, Rhino. So in terms of support, you can have up to 2 support. I think it's no-brainer to take the Gambit Raging Cahoon, that give a very nice crit buff as well as the damage over time as well. Whoa, hang on a sec. Whoa, there's a, I don't know, I teleport to, whoa, there's this, is it? Whoa. Okay, that is Scary Mary. You know what, let me just do an ultimate. I haven't done ultimate for a long time. Okay, where is it? Okay, I don't know. So ultimate is about mashing buttons, I think, for roll. Okay, so this the rope ultimate is very hard to talk, so just bear with me. I'm not talking about mashing button. Make sure that I get the best out from my ultimate. Her ultimate is not exactly wonderful. Okay, so whoa. Okay. So yeah, in terms of port, then you know, one is the Raging Cahoon that gives you the crit buff that I talked about. Another option is that a lot of people like the Hulk kind of like I don't know if it's still from Hulk or not, but it is the or She-Hulk actually. You can have a damage flat damage buff to it, and it's very nice. And that's one option. But again, I mean, you know, it has quite a long cooldown, and I picked the Invisible Woman instead because it gives me a very nice spirit return. I have 6 spirit return per second on a 3-second duration, I think at least, and it's very nice on that. And I have the reason why I'm able to sustain the kind of like very spirit intensive build is because of the both the Dupe Rune work as well as the Invisible Woman, and also in terms of from all this content point of view, because she can go invisible every 12 seconds for 3 seconds, and that is very, very helpful in terms of the being able to survive. And I'm going to focus on my last one. And what other option can you have, right? There are a couple of other options there. So one option is, in fact, let me see my gloss off this. One option is in fact the Colossus toggle, which is by itself is also very nice because it's something that you don't need to put in the hotbar. You just turn it on and that's it. It gives a very nice survivability kind of like option there. That your rope is very likely to survive really well with the Colossus, which I used to have that. There's a reason why I don't pick that. I'm going to talk a little bit about it later. Another option is to have the Iceman, the Ice Golem. I've tried that; it's wonderful on a Cosmic Terminal setting because you can call up the Ice Golem, and Ice Golem can do a tanking for you to to take all the hit while you do a DPS, and you just sit back there, very much like Doctor Strange. Hello, wife. Yeah, let's sync up my wife there playing with me. So that is one option. But because of a passive that I've decided to use, it's called Red Scout's. Hang on, the Red Scout passive, which is this one here. So if you take a look at the description, okay, hang on. Getting a bit dicey. So if you take a look at the description here, when you do attrition power, you do an impact, when you do a support, it gives you the flat damage buff to it, and it can buff up to 600 damage rating, so it's wonderful. Now, support is a bit hard to have that kind of like, because support usually have a very long cooldown or no cooldown at all, like a toggle. So so in the end, I've decided to, whoa, these are very dangerous stuff actually. In the end, I've decided to use the Invisible Woman because Invisible Woman has a cooldown of 12 seconds, which is very nice because that go along with the I can do it every 12 seconds with no spirit cost or whatsoever. It's just a pure cooldown, and when I do that, I'll get a 200 damage buff, which is like 5%, which is very nice. All right. So that is the one reason why I picked that. So in terms of passive, just to run off, besides the Besides the red skull, which I like, it has the health and spirit component to it as well. Look, health and spirit component to it. And I have also got the Hawkeye, which give me the crit damage rating, and also I have the Hawkeye as well as the where is the boss? Down below. Hawkeye as Drax. So these are the couple of things that I use, and you know, I hope it gives you some kind of idea how I come by with some of the power that I chosen and so on. Like I said, I mean, you know, for Rook, there's a lot of option when it comes to the power that you can borrow. And you know, what I have worked for me today may may become outdated in time to come, and I may need to rethink about it again when it comes to probably, like, you know, when it comes to having a kind of like new heroes or new villains, and I have to rethink again. But that's a wonderful thing about this game, because you know, I can certainly do stuff like that, and keep discovering new power, new playstyle for my Rook. And I don't know who else. I mean, you know, who knows? Maybe in time to come, melee become king again in this kind of like a setting. So you know, you can never write things off. Then I have to rethink my Rook again, because then, you know, the non-melee build is a little bit too you know, not fun. So yeah, I mean, ooh, bye bye Loki. So yeah, that's all, and I hope you enjoy. And a big thanks to my wife, Cup, who's hanging out with me, and it's always fun to see this little raccoon in the video running around and wondering what the raccoon is doing. So yeah, so and I'll go back to the training room or wherever again to just give a little bit of talk a little bit more about the power and the Omega system as well. Alright, see you later. Okay, welcome back to this part of the video, talking more about the Rook's power and Omega system and so on. So I hope you have seen the Cosmic Terminal and Cosmic Petrol, and sort of like get a feel of how she plays, like what kind of like you know, survivability we talk about, what kind of like power play style we talk about, something that may interest you in some sense. Alright. In terms of her power, in terms of power tree, taking all the gears off, this is basically what I have. I'm not very much invested on her melee build. If you do, then I would suppose things like the Rumble Slam has a vulnerability debuff to it, which is really nice. And also you may want to be interested in things like the Vaulting Uppercut, which is also a damage over time. But there are many power to choose from as well on the melee end, so I'm not going to talk too much about it on something that I have not really done too much homework on. The one that I really enjoy talking about is the other two, which Steal from Friends and Steal from Foes. I'm not going to repeat why I choose certain power, because I think by now you pretty have a good idea of why I pick certain power over the others. In terms of the point distribution point of view, I have two of these, one attrition and one core, which I max out. I have the support, which is Raging Cahoon, also I max out. So this is from Gambit, this is from Cleo, and this is from Doctor Strange. In terms of the passive, I max out the Hawkeye's one, because it gives me the plus damage rating to range, crit damage rating, as well as crit hit chance plus 2%. None of this has diminished return, so it's good stuff. Okay, I max out the signature as well, because I'm still a strong believer that her signature can't deliver for the build that I have. I haven't got enough points to max out Drax, the Destroyer Vengeance, which is one of the very nice passive as well. It gives the Brutal Strike rating, and that's why I can achieve the kind of like a 65.7% Brutal Strike, as well as the Brutal Strike damage of 664%, thanks to all these very nice stats I have from Drax. None of this again has diminishing return except the Brutal Strike rating. One point on the invisibility, because I need the spirit return. Without gear, it's only about 3 spirit per second, nothing to shout about. But with the gear, it's about 6 spirit per second. It's very nice. This one combined with my gear, I have no spirit issue. Well, relatively no. All right. In terms of the Steal from Foes, I talk about Red Skull passive during the earlier part of the video. Would like to repeat again, it gives me a nice health, nice spirit. When I put my gear on, it's a lot. and also give me a very nice 195 damage rating when I use attrition impact support. Now with the Raging Cajon as well as the invisibility, and that's why I choose the invisibility as well, besides the part about survival, is to make sure I maintain at least close to 100% of 600, close to 600, or maybe if you take away 15 of that, close to 600 damage rating, which is a lot. It's one of the very good passive if you keep rotating your power in that way. And the and this one, the tongue lash, is something that I use for another build, which is the here over there. This is mainly for raiding build, because for raiding, I can use that to trigger my power cosmic physical hit kind of thing. But for other things like Terminal or Midtown Manhattan or whatnot, I can safely use my Kree charge to prop my physical damage for a power cosmic. So and an artifact as well as Doom Rune as well. So that's no issue. So I have two builds. One is very much cater for the raid. The other is this one. But on the other hand, I mean, you know, during raid you can't have to move around. So I just make sure that when I move, I hit something. That's all. But I could equally use Tongue Lash for the very high damage and also prop my power cosmic. And for attrition, I have Lavalanche, max it out, as well as the minus destruction. I talk about this whole mental damage impact that I have. So this is good stuff. So these two I max it out. I put 1 point for Vanish, which is from Kregi boss. It's actually quite nice. It's just that I so far there's a bug in the system. I'm unable to map that onto my function key, so I cannot do like function 4 is supposed to be this one, 6-1, but it's just that it become like, you know, slot 6 has nothing inside, which is not true. So there's a bug in the system, which is unfortunate. But it's good for me to get around places like in ICP or MM or even Russian Terminal if I wish to just teleport around. All right. But this teleport has a little bit of cooldown and it doesn't really go a big distance, so it's not the greatest teleport I have. But I think for Rogue right now you only have this one. All right, and the last one is Gloss Off. This is very interesting. It has a very long cooldown, 1 minute. I wish I could put it on my toolbar, but I couldn't. So this is the one that I extend to the so it's almost 1 hotbar. But I have this one as the power to extend upon. It gives me a buff of 15 seconds. So you know, with my power duration and so on, it does get quite high, and it gives quite a nice like a buff here and there. So I use it before I do all the big damage. All right. Let me put back on my gears, and let's talk about gears. So once I put back my gear, things become very high. Like damage is like 1,000 there, and sorry, the health is 1,000, and couple that with this guy here, which is what I have for Kree Resilience, which is Rogue's passive. I just need 1 point to it because it's more worth to put 1 point here and 1 point here rather than max it out, because when I max it out, it doesn't really add that much. But if I put 1 point here, 1 point there, I actually have more in terms of health. So, and here's a spirit there as well. All right. In terms of gear wise, and the artifact is the dupe ectoplasm, which is one of the event item. You can keep rolling for the highest roll. It's very nice because for Rogue, I benefit from all 3 of them, and you got very nice base damage versus boss, and you got very nice damage rating as well when you do mental power, and when you do physical dodge is useless, but never mind, I have that. Gem of the Curse is for all the hybrid hero, and you cannot get more hybrid than Rogue, I think. Medallion is Dr. Doom because I prefer the power duration, and this is quite a nice roll by the way for Dr. Doom Medallion. Health, Spirit, power duration, all very nice. Hand of Doom, I really love Rogue, and I just want to give her all my best gear, and now it pays off, which I'm really happy. And Metasensory, because I have so many power at 1 point here, 1 point there, so with +1 to all power, it benefits quite a fair bit, and I managed to get a StarTat thing there, the orange one, +1 rank to Gloss Off. Nothing to shout about, it's not my main DPS, but it's a nice buff and +1 rank to it. It's just a minute kind of like DPS change, but yeah, alright. For Relics, I think you could go for the crit damage. On second thought I could, but I also don't mind having some kind of health return as well for Rogue. Though I don't really think that you need it on a Cosmic Terminal. It wouldn't hurt to have some health return for Cosmic Petrol. Haven't said that. All right. Okay, so this is the rune work that I use. I use the LOKI one, which I really want to hold on to very large moment, because you know LOKI is very hard to get the runes, right? And I got a rune work for her. But I can't sustain the spirit. So, you know, if I use that one, the whole flow kind of like very poor when it comes to the Cosmic Terminal. I constantly not enough spirit when it comes to all the power that I use. It's really spirit hungry for this one. So I have power dupe, and I have also tried some of the like lizard artifacts as well. By the way, it doesn't help for my spirit, so I throw it away immediately. Power Cosmic is for the legendary. For hybrid hero, ring, nothing really to shout about. All her unique are fine, except the last one, which is the final slot. The one that Rogue has is the melee, so I don't do melee, so it's a total waste. So instead, there are a couple of options. You can either do Mask of Zorn or the one from Algrim, Mask of Algrim, which is from Curse. Even the brutally awesome sunglasses as well. Those all have +2 power. But I think all in all, this one probably one of the best for her. The role I have is so. I wish I have a higher mental damage, but I have what I have, and it gives me a +2 power. I love it so much that I give a +1 fighting as well. So you know that shows how much I love this slot, and I love the hero as well. In terms of the core is always the if you have +25% health is very good. Those just grab it, help the spirit as well. Also +1 fighting, because she's truly a hybrid. +1 fighting is wonderful. I mean, I don't really do a lot of Cosmic team insignia. You see my video, I'm guilty of just leaving it at purple, but I really love her a lot, and I think this insignia is alright. It's not really a perfect one. The crit damage rating is really nice. I wish there was like flat damage or the range and whatnot, but I don't have it, so it's versus boss, which is fine. And it's not really a high roll as well, but I'm okay with the aura, so yeah, I give a +1 to all power for her. Pet, I'm still growing. I have 2 pets. This is the pet that I often use, and has all the best stat for rogue, for most of hero there, except when you are a summoner. Okay, so that's power, and the last bit is talking about the Omega system, which is also one of my favorite topic. Omega system wise, the spin tab, you know, invest all that you can with it for a non-summoner is wonderful. I briefly mentioned in the video, earlier part of the video, that you know, this whole Omega system is a little bit biased towards mental damage, because you know this is a very good +1, +10 energy, and everything that comes along with it, like this one also base mental damage, and this one deal mental damage and get a little regen, and this one also mental damage. So you know, all in all, this whole stretch here is very much just have the whole mental on it. Having said that, I mean, even for my energy heroes, I picked this one as well, because alternatively you could have this one instead to have equivalent +10 energy. But I don't really like the other 2 stats, because those are defensive stats. I want damage when it comes to Omega system. So you know, I picked this one, and it works really nice for my build, because mine is mostly mental and energy. All right, this one is give me more crit, more brutal. Nothing to talk about too much about it. And the guild suppression is the one that that is nice, because it give me the brutal strike rating. I picked this one by mistake, because I think one of the earlier iteration of the game, they actually ignored, they have not put in the melee label there, so I thought it's for crit and crit damage rating, but turns out it doesn't. So I would actually remove this part to do something else. I would actually don't do this one. All right. Then you know, then as for this guy here, in fact, I would like to remove some of the pawn from there and put it into plus fighting, because this one is a plus fighting, very good for hybrid hero. Then I have the brutal and the brutal damage as well from the Sabrak Truth. That's about it. I mean, you know, all these are very nice Omega system. In terms of hero synergy, not going to go too deep on that, but I think what I focus on is on the crit and the flat damage for both energy and mental. Again, I mean, you know, you could stress yourself and do physical as well, but you can only do 1 damage at a time, except when it has attrition that overlay on top. So I focus on mental energy for this entire build, and it works out fine for me. So I hope you enjoy this part of the video. I mean, I hope you enjoy this entire video. Rogue means a lot to me, and I'm really happy that she gets so much better. I may do another video on the more theory crafting part of the for Rogue, because right now I have this whole set of power, but moving forward, when there are new power from heroes and team ups and villains, I may reset the whole entire bar, and I thought it's good to share with you how I derive all these numbers, so that next time you can do your own spreadsheet, do your own calculation, and pick their own power as well. So thank you for watching. Once again, any question, ping me in game, which is Lace, or you can just drop me a comment here. Okay, bye.